Lost Media 13. Hi guys, welcome back to my Lost Media series. Today I will be taking about more video game Lost Media. So let's go. Number 1, Angry Birds Heroes. Not to be confused with Plants vs Zombies Heroes. Angry Birds Heroes, also known as single quote Angry Birds Legends and single quote Angry Birds Infinity, was meant to be an RPG with the designs of the movie. We only got one single trailer with teaser images and blurry gameplay in the background, but it was eventually cancelled. Link to the trailer. Number 2, Dog Eats Dog, cancelled early single quote 90s PC game. Dog Eat Dog is a cancelled PC adventure game, originally developed in 1992 by Darlene Waddington, who also worked on Dragon's Lair on Arcade and DuckTales on NES, for Buena Vista Software, a division of Disney Software that concentrated on games for an older, more mature audience. The game would have the player, either male or female, as an office employee attempting to work their way up in the single quote big black box industries, accompanied by interacting towards many other characters, getting various results by changing their communicating attitude, going from Barrett, sympathize, or kiss up. The storyline would have been quite dark and cynical, encouraging the player to be manipulative and opportunistic, and satirizing the merciless nature of the corporate world, hence the title. It would also have included sexual themes. The graphics were comic book inspired by this period. The project was left in development hell until it was reprised in 1995. This time produced by Trilobite. Waddington was still designing the game, along with 2 other writers, Tamara Williams and Susan Chaw, forming the Ministry of Thought studio. The look of the game was completely revamped. It was redesigned as to be FMV, which was a trend in PC games of the mid-90s, with more than 20 actors. They were to be shot on green screen and afterwards encrusted on 3D backgrounds. Despite shooting almost 200 hours of film and spending almost $1 million on it, the game ended up being cancelled for good. No known playable copy of either version of the game has been made available. Number 3, Dora the Explorer. Dora Saves the Mermaids, Lost Nintendo Wii port. Dora the Explorer. Dora Saves the Mermaids is a video game that was originally released for the Nintendo DS on the 5th of November, 2007, in the country of the United States of America. The video game is based off of the 2007 film of the same name, and was published by 2K Play. The video game would be later released in the country of Australia on the 3rd of March 2008, and in the continent of Europe on the 7th of that same exact month and year. The video game would even be ported onto the PlayStation 2 in 2008. Another port of the video game would have been released on the Nintendo Wii around this time. It probably would have been similar to the PlayStation 2 port, since the PlayStation port is on a home console like the Nintendo Wii and not on a handheld console like the Nintendo DS. The game would end up being cancelled, possibly due to either low sales or negative reviews of the game. Number 4, Banjo Karting, Lost 2006 prototype built from Banjo-Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts. Banjo Karting, also known as The Fast and the Furious, was a game prototype for Xbox 360 developed by Rare. Limited development started in late 2008, shortly before the release of Banjo-Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts. The prototype was meant as a spiritual successor to Diddy Kong Racing, and featured a simplified version of the customization features from Nuts and Bolts. During races, players could use Mumbo's wand from Nuts and Bolts to manipulate objects in the environment and affect the track, such as dismantling a barn and using its pieces to build a bridge across a river. Players could also use the wand to take parts off their opponents' cars during races and make their own more powerful. In total, there were at least 10 playable characters being planned for inclusion. The prototype was ultimately cancelled following Rare's subsequent shift to Kinect projects. However, one of the cars created for the prototype was later used as Banjo's vehicle into the Xbox 360 version of Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. The game's existence first became known in August 2015 after a video featurette discussing it was included in the Xbox One compilation game Rare Replay. Number 5, Banjo-Kazooie, Lost 2004 cancelled Xbox prototype from Banjo-Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts. Banjo-Kazooie was a prototype for the original Xbox that started at Rare Limited in 2004. In the prototype, players were able to construct their carts out of different parts to race. After it was cancelled, the concept evolved into Banjo-Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts, which was released on Xbox 360 4 years later. Before the cancellation, Brendan Gunn talked about the game in an interview. "We always wanted to do a racing game. I got to spend 2 weeks working on a prototype racing game for the Xbox. It was codenamed Banjo-Kazooie, and it was a kind of kart racer. But you constructed the carts out of different parts, so I guess it was kind of a precursor to Nuts and Bolts. But for those 2 weeks I was doing the driving mechanics for it." Only 3 footages and its help were available on the internet. Number 6 Cat Dog, Saving Mean Bob, unreleased 1998 PlayStation game. Cat Dog, Saving Mean Bob was a cancelled video game adaptation of the popular Nicktoon, Cat Dog, for the original PlayStation. Not much is known about it, other than the fact that Robert Lamoureux worked on the game when he was working on the PC game, Cat Dog, Quest for the Golden Hydrant. It was also going to be originally published by Hasbro Interactive, who also published Quest for the Golden Hydrant. Only a few screenshots exist, as well as an advertisement published in a Nickelodeon magazine. Number 7 Baby's Day Out, partially found a cancelled 1994 movie tie-in video game. Based on the 1994 movie of the same name, Baby's Day Out is a cancelled video game developed by Designer Software and published by High-Tech Entertainment that was scheduled for release in October 1994. It was fully completed and ready to be released on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, Sega Genesis, and Game Boy, but it was cancelled at the last minute for unknown reasons. Instead of Bink, the player controls what appears to be Bink's guardian angel that helped Bink to stay away from the kidnappers, which never appeared in the film. In November 2014, a copy of the Game Boy port was sold on eBay. Only prototypes of the Genesis and Game Boy versions have been found. But unlike the Game Boy version, 2 Genesis prototypes have appeared online and are available for download on several ROM sites. No known prototypes or final builds of the SNES version have resurfaced. The forum thread where the Game Boy port was found. Number 8 Buoya Games, partially lost mobile games. Buoya, Incorporated was an American mobile games company based in San Francisco, California. They released a total of 9 games. In 2014, the company shut down and took all of its games with it. None of the company's games are obtainable anywhere, but gameplay footage exists for most of them and there are apps of some of the games. Number 9 Minecraft Earth, lost 2019 game. Minecraft Earth was an augmented reality and geolocation-based sandbox game developed by Mojang Studios and Blackbird Interactive and published by Xbox Game Studios. A spin-off of the video game Minecraft, it was first announced in May 2019, and was available on Android and iOS. The game was free to play and was first released in early access on the 17th of October 2019. The game received its final update in January 2021 and officially shut down on the 30th of June 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Number 10 SpongeBob SquarePants, Legend of the Lost Spatula, found commercial. November 15, 2017. In 2001, a video game released based on the popular Nickelodeon animated children's show, SpongeBob SquarePants. The game is currently playable, so the game itself isn't lost. Some people have even made it accessible to play online for free. However, sometime in 2016, somebody on the SpongeBob Wikipedia uploaded a commercial for the game on the game's article. The commercial was later on deleted. The reasons for this is unknown. The commercial has since been found and re-uploaded onto YouTube. Conclusion. Thanks for watching this episode in Season 2 of my Lost Media series, and we will see you tomorrow on my Lost Media series. Thanks for watching. Next episode is Lost Media 14.